Here with us today is Donald Trump Jr. less than 48 hours after an assassin tried to kill your father. Thank you so much for being here.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
So I wanted to ask you, I am sure this was a horrific moment for you when you found out that someone had attempted to take your father's life. What was your first conversation with our former president like after this shooting?
It actually took a while. It was a Saturday evening. I was with my kids, July summer, and I got a call. Your father's been shot, but that's it. Like no details. Like, is he alive? Is he not? Is he okay? Is he? Took about 90 minutes to actually get through. I guess with that they had them all locked down and whatever it may be, and mobile trauma units and so I didn't even know. It took an hour
for 90
and a half.
minutes.
Yeah, an hour and a half for me to not know what was going on. And strangely enough, during that time I was just trying to get all my kids together. Didn't know if there was further stuff going on or if there was and so stayed relatively calm in that. Got to finally speak to him. And, by then I'd already seen some of the video, so I was like, okay. Then finally got the phone call, and it was, me, my brother, and Laura, and Kim, and my daughter, and my ex-wife were all there on sort of speakerphone talking to my dad. And, he was just surprisingly upbeat and, obviously a somber moment, right? But surprisingly there that, I even got in a hair joke. I was like, is the hair okay with all that blood? We sort of had some fun with it. I think probably all needed a little Trump style icebreaker just to kind of get through some of the gravitas of everything that went on. And then you sort of sit down, and that's when it all hits you, and it's like, man, it was a pretty crazy moment.
Right, and I'm sure you felt so strongly. How did this change how you look at your father?
Oh, I told him the first thing I saw the picture, the sort of defiant, fist pump, after 5 seconds after getting shot. And, I guess we live in an era where everyone sort of thinks they're a badass because they're on the internet and not really up front. But he just got shot, and he comes out, sort of defiant, ready to fight for our country. And I just said, hey, you're the biggest badass I've ever met. And I probably could not have been legitimately more proud ever, as a son, to have that kind of approach. Because, again, everyone thinks they're going to act that way. Everyone wants to believe that they're going to act that way. But when actually tried, usually it's not the case. You usually wither and hide, and that's not his style.
Right. It's not at all. Can I ask you last thing? Are you worried about more political violence, and do you anticipate that you and your immediate family could also be a target?
Obviously it's something you think about. I try not to because I, also have to live your life and, do those kinds of things. I know when my father was in office, I had a Secret Service detail, and I was, I think, the number 2 most threatened person in America, according to them, because like him, I don't just accept the other side's narrative and apologize for it. I push back, I fight, and that's the way I'm sort of built, I guess. Maybe we're all built a little differently. Certainly he is. I'd like to believe I got some of those genes.
Yeah.
And so, it's definitely a consideration, and you've seen the elevation of that over the years. They couldn't beat him in so many ways, so they try to, sue him to death. And then they try to, bankrupt him, and then they try to take away his businesses. And when that doesn't work, they try to jail him. And it was sort of the natural progression. I got in trouble a couple months ago when Tucker said, yeah, of course they would try to. And I said, yeah, it's totally in the world in which we live, right? It's totally plausible that they would try to do something like this. And, I got criticized. How dare I say that? But here we are.
Here we are.
Like all great conspiracy theories, it turns right 6 months later.
Right. I heard Tucker say today that you're maybe his favorite member of the Trump family.
I didn't hear that, but I appreciate it. Listen, he's a great friend. I think he's a true sort of journalist talent. I think he has also, the guts and resolve that so many people lack, right now in this country. So it's about as great a compliment as I can get, I think. So I really appreciate that, Tucker.
I agree.
Hopefully I'll see him later on,
Yeah.
so we'll see what happens.
Well, thank you so much. We so appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate being with you.
Great. Well, thank you.
My